But yeah, guys, let's get into it. First topic: Mr. Kyrie Irving compares playing in the NBA to a 9 to 5 job. What? I ain't gonna lie.
I'm with it.
I would leave my 9 to 5 in a heartbeat if I could be number 15, 16 on the bench. All I gotta do is play 1 year and then I get the veteran minimum, a meal. Give it to me. Give it to me. So, what do you guys take? John, let's go with you first. What's your take, man? What do you
I'm
think?
with it because here's the thing. I don't
What?
think he's actually working. I don't think he's actually working 9 to 5. I think what he's saying is it's an 8 hour, 5 days a week job. I think he's saying that, and I think he's put in perspective is like, listen, yeah, we get paid crazy amounts of money, but like, this is still, you still got to go spend time with your family. You still got to make time for yourself, your mental health, all that stuff. Like, you got to take care of all those things. You can't be putting in 12-hour days every day. By the way, 40 hours a week is still a lot of basketball. That's a ton of basketball. Because you think about it, he plays what, maybe 3-4 games a week, right?
No.
Yeah, well, yeah, if he's in Brooklyn, he's only playing 2.
I was about to say he ain't played that. No, I'm just playing.
So I'm saying it, but if he were allowed to, he would be playing 3, 4, sometimes 5 games a week.
Yeah.
Like that's 48 minutes of playing. You know what I mean? Like, so take that out. He's still got 30. Like, he's still putting in 30, 35 hours of work a week. I'd say that's good. I don't have a problem with that at all. If some guys don't mind going to the gym and working 10, 12 hours a day every 6 days a week, fine. That's
I mean, ain't nobody in the. I don't know nobody in the gym 10 hours a day.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't have a problem with this
on your body to work out.
That's what I'm saying. If this is true, if he's really putting in 8 hours, 5 days a week, I have no problem. That's a ton of work. And by the way, he has been super impressive since he came back. Now, on the defensive side, they have been getting blown out.
You got a lot of rest. You would be too.
You talk about just Kyrie playing, or you talk about the team?
Hey, Clay had a lot more rest than Kyrie.
Exactly.
And
Wait,
he's not.
You're fresh.
He's not showing out like Kyrie is. So I'm just saying,
on
the defensive side, the Nets have been getting blown out, but Kyrie has been balling.
I was about to say, you talk about Kyrie himself, or you talk about the Nets being good? Because
Kyrie on offense has been balling. On defense, the Nets are atrocious right now.
Okay. I was about to say, because I was about to say.
Well, yeah, I have no problem with the 9 to 5. Listen, I think he's putting in perspective. Like, listen, yeah, this job pays more than other jobs, but it's still a job at the end of the day. This is not.
Not paid more. Get paid a lot more.
He's not even a full-time employee.
He getting paid to sit at home.
Right, he getting paid full-time money to be a part-time player.
But not by his own choice.
Amazon.
He's not by his own choice. He's being forced.
I was just about to use that as an example because I work at Amazon.
Can you work at Amazon for 6 months and get paid for 12 months?
If they force you to stay home, yes. If they're forcing you to stay home,
you'll be fired.
Forcing you to stay home.
You are acting like it's his choice that he stays home.
It
is.
No, it's not. It's literally the city of New York. It's not even the NBA.
Because of COVID, he needs to get his vaccination.
It's not the NBA saying it. It's not his job saying you have to stay home. It's literally the city of New York saying stay home. That is not the same thing.
Okay, I give you that.
Get traded. You got to go.
If he played for any other team, he'd be fine, except maybe the Knicks.
I was about to say he got to go.
There's no way.
There's no way that I should be able to pay this player full-time money, and he's only giving me part-time work, man. There's no way.
But if you're the one forcing him to stay home, that's not his fault. Anyway. But we're getting off. I'm just saying. I'm talking about as a 9 to 5. If he's still because here's the thing. I believe he was still putting in the work when he was sitting. I think he was still putting in the work. And so I don't discredit him for none of this. I like it.
John, you tripping, bro?
I don't think this is
40 hours. He's putting in 40 hours of basketball a week.
He's averaging about like 2 million hours per hour. What do you? That's a great job.
I'm not debating that. I'm debating the fact that he said, "Listen, this is not my life." That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying is you still have to have a life. You still have to keep your mental health, your family, all that stuff in check. And by the way, this isn't even Kyrie called the NBA 9 to 5. This is someone said, Kyrie's aunt said that Kyrie said the NBA is a 9 to 5. Like we don't even know that he said it.
Let's be honest. When someone close to you says something that you said, more than likely you've said it in conversation.
Yeah, but I put that question mark there just because I'm not going to say for a fact that he did say it, is all I'm saying, until I hear him say it.
So let me ask you this. Would you quit your job today to go be the 16th man on the NBA team?
Yeah.
Why? You ain't got a lot of time?
I would quit my job today. Whoa, but I would quit my job today for a lot of jobs. But there are higher paying jobs that require me to work more hours that I won't quit my job for because I'm not going to go work 70, 80 hours a week.
But are you really working more hours in the NBA? Because technically, if you're the star, you don't really have to go to practice. You might have to show up for an hour, hour and a half, but they're not stressing you to, hey, man, you got to get in this layup drill. No, they just need you for the game.
And then that's what I'm saying. More than likely, they already putting in that work in the offseason anyway. Or like you said, throughout that time, I'm not putting no doubt in my mind that Kyrie is still putting in work that time when he was out. But it's the fact of, like I said, the question is it a 9 to 5? Hell no, it's not a 9 to 5 because, like I said, I'm at Amazon right now. If I tell them, be like, hey, I'm gonna work Thursday and Friday, but I want Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, but y'all still want y'all to pay me full-time pay. They not gonna go for
January to June.
They not gonna go for that. They not gonna go for that. They're gonna be like, no, bro, you got to go. You got to go. And I see what you're saying. They talk about it's not his choice, but at the same time, it's a sacrifice that you have to make. If you want to win an NBA title right now, you have to get that vaccination, bro. Regardless if it's only in Brooklyn.
NFL players and school teachers both work like 9 months out of the year, right?
The NFL is different. The NFL is different because you got to get.
I'm just saying, is that what we're doing? Is we're just comparing everything? Like, of course, it's not a 9 to 5 where you have to clock in at 9 and clock out at 5. But what he's saying, he's not. I don't think that's what was meant by this. I think what was meant by this was this. You can't let this consume your life. You still have to have a life. Like, you need to put in the work.
No, he ain't let it consume his life at all.
I mean, he's
always been, this ain't my life. I want life outside the NBA. Like, bruh, don't get me wrong. I understand everyone has a life, but this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. You're not going to find no job that'll be like, all right, Kyrie, you don't want to get vaccinated? We'll still give you $13 million to sit at home. What other job you can find those kind of benefits?
What other kind of job gives you those paying $13 million? Period. Even if you do
exactly.
I don't. What is that? What we're talking about? We're not talking about how this compares to a 9 to 5. We're talking about he's saying my life is not the NBA. I want to be Kyrie. I don't want to be Kyrie the NBA player. I want to be Kyrie the philanthropist, Kyrie the conspiracy theorist, Kyrie the whatever. Like, I want to be Kyrie.
That's fine. You can do all that, but do all that when you retire or something. Then when you Kyrie the NBA player, you got to ball out. Be Kyrie the NBA player. That's who you are. That's what you. That's your occupation.
No, because Pat Mahomes already bought a part of a baseball team.
Okay, but they always still put their sport first, though. It's not a fact of like, okay, yeah, they bought the teams and all that, but at the end of the day, they always still put their team, their sport first, regardless of what they're doing outside of their specific, sport. So that's all I'm saying. I'm like, bro, that's fine that you're going to do all that stuff outside of basketball, but at this time, bro, you're in the NBA you're a professional NBA player. Play ball.
And so then if you think about
he is doing that. That's what I'm confused. That's why I'm confused, because he is playing ball and he is putting in the work, but he's saying this is not me. I feel like that's all he's saying.
Okay, yeah, he's playing ball, but bro, you're playing ball part-time though. Regardless of the fact, like,
okay, but that's not an NBA thing. That's a New York thing. That's why I get what you're saying with that, and I'm not disagreeing with nothing. I'm talking about as NBA goes. I'm not gonna New York has its own rules. That's fine, but NBA does not have that rule, so I'm not gonna discredit him for that. I'm not, if the NBA decides to have that rule and he does it, that's different, right? The NBA says this is the rule.
They prefer you to get vaccinated though. The NBA is.
No, only California and New York. That's it. But
if you think about it, the majority of the NBA events, they want you to have.
Hold on, not necessarily, because when I was gonna go to that Brooklyn and Bulls game, they made it real strict that you got to have a vaccination card and a mask.
The Bulls games do. I've not heard anything that says the Bulls players have to be. Now they might all be, but I'm just saying I haven't heard nothing say that.
No, I don't think Lonzo.
They haven't made a stance on that.
To sit out for 10 days. I think Lonzo might be unvaccinated.
Yeah, the fans have to be. I haven't heard nothing about the players having to be. So
no, I'm saying Lonzo, he wasn't vaccinated, but when he came back positive, he had to sit out for 10 days. So
yeah. But so I again, I'm not disagreeing with none of that. Or even debating any of that. What I'm saying is, I'm not going to talk about New York and California rules when that's like, if it were an NBA rule and he was breaking it, and he could play, fine, right? But I mean, he was losing money while sitting, right? Just like Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is pretty much losing almost all of his money, like while sitting, like a good chunk of it, So
now that's different. He just sitting because he wants to.
Right. Yes.
Right. But I'm just saying both players were getting fined. Both players were getting fined, $100,000 a game, whatever it was.
I read something the other day. They say Ben Simmons has lost about $9 million this season alone. I'm like, dude, that's crazy. I can't just be losing meals like that. We're gonna have to figure it out.
But I'm just saying, my whole thing is say, like, I agree with him on if this is what he meant by it. If this isn't what he meant by it, then I'm completely wrong. But I'm saying if he meant by this, listen, you have to have a life outside NBA, right? You have to keep carrying your life on, because all these guys we talk about get consumed with it, and then what happens down the road is mental health, or they lost time for their, man. NFL coaches have a major problem with this. Like their kids are out of control. Their kids end up getting into all kinds of stuff. Like I'm not even gonna go name nobody, but I'm just saying, like, there's a ton, and like they have no time for family, and then it's just.
But I think
that's the thing, though.
Go ahead, Walt.
No, I was just saying, like, honestly, in any sport that you're trying to do, there's some type of sacrifice that you have to do, man. I understand that you say that it's a family, you got family out there, and you got to do stuff outside or whatever. But Shannon Sharp said it the best, man. If you want to be the greatest, man, you have to make ultimate sacrifice, and that even means sacrificing time with your family. And if Kyrie, he's always said that he wants to be the best or whatever, this is the stuff that you have to do to get to that point. I mean, let's be honest. I hate the fact that I'm even using this reference, but Jordan, I mean, he made the ultimate sacrifice in almost everything. You feel me? Like
Kobe,
he's not getting 6 rings if he's not making some type of sacrifice.
Right.
Man. That's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing, right? Not everyone is trying to be the greatest at what they do. They're trying to be great and they're trying to be the best version of themselves. And I think that's what Kyrie wants. He's trying to balance mental health, family life, and NBA. Whereas, listen, let's be honest too. Not everyone can be the greatest. Not everyone is 6'8", 6'9", 6'6", whatever. So, you have to understand where you are in life and be like, all right, you know what? I need to push myself to be the best version of myself, and then also make time for everything else. And I believe that's what he's saying. I rock with that, but. Yeah,
I think back to what you were saying, John. I don't really know any athlete that goes into a sport and say, I think every athlete, they might not say it, but you do want to be the best at your position.
Unless you Westbrook.
Huh?
I said unless you Westbrook, he don't care about winning.
But he wants to be the best.
At what?
At what he does. At triple doubles, that's what he wants to be.
Probably. Or he wants to be one of the most athletic point guards in NBA history.
Right, and that's the thing, right? And I think a lot of guys want to be the best, not at NBA or point guard. They want to be best at something, right? Like, I have the best crossover in the league. I have the best 3-point shot in the league. But Kyrie didn't say this his rookie year, third year. He's in like 10th, 11th year now. I understand it, man. He's grown up. He's gone. He thinks a lot. He's a.
And I think a problem with a lot of players anyway, they got too much time.
Too much time to think, probably.
On their hand. No, too much time on their hands. I mean, Unfortunately, look at Henry Ruggs. Had too much time on his hands. You out partying, turning up. I don't know what you were doing. Like, was he drunk? Do y'all remember? Was he drunk driving? I think he was, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the thing, man. Is like there's a lot of players. Like we just had another one this week with Pro Bowl week. Another player get in trouble.
Alvin Kamara.
Honestly, man, if like I think of how many players would still be in the league or have a reputable name if it weren't for alcohol. Like it's just a bummer that because I don't think they would have made these same decisions. That's the only bummer about it. But they did, and this isn't the show for that. But yeah, like it's a bummer, and we hate to see it happen, but we also hate to see people get victimized by people too. So
yeah,
that's a tough situation.